We're pleased to welcome now Kelly Bennett, Multimedia Journalist, SuperTalk Mississippi News.
Morning, guys. Since it's Valentine's Day and you guys have been playing this great bumper music, I thought I would introduce you to my favorite Valentine's song. You ready?
Yeah. Got it.
All right, that's for all the single ladies on Valentine's Day.
I love it.
Like
that is so awesome. I love it. Love stinks. That's great. All right. Well, you guys have been pretty busy covering all that stuff, hadn't you there, Kelly? As the legislature in full swing, they're just dishing it out to us, aren't they, for us to cover and analyze? What's on your mind?
There really have been. I mean, there's so much action going on, and it's hard to keep track because in the afternoon, you're writing up your news stories and you think you've got one thing going on, and then the next day you find out legislators were meeting in committee and doing things you aren't familiar with yet. So that's bound to happen as we go through the legislative session. But there was a little bit of fireworks this week, and I think the social media firestorm warrants some coverage of this story. So the Senate decided Tuesday afternoon to approve a measure that would bring no excuse early voting to the Magnolia state. Well, it didn't take long for Republican Governor Tate Reeves to fire away at the legislation, posting on social media that the bill's author, Republican Jeremy England, is, quote, the MVP for Democrats. Internet insults aside, England told us that the bipartisan bill is really what's best for the state.
The name calling or any of that doesn't really matter. Governor Reeves is a friend of mine. You know, of course, maybe we disagree on this, and I do disagree with him on this. But 47 other states do it. We know what we're doing. We've got a very limited way to open this up to Mississippians. I don't think that it's accurate to say that this is a Democrat issue.
Reeves believes that this would lead to more voter fraud. The National Republican Party disagrees. They actually encouraged people to vote early during the most recent presidential election. Now, under England's measure, which does need House approval, Mississippians would be given 15 days before an election to cast a ballot early. And to do so, they wouldn't need any of these reasons that you have to give for absentee or mail-in voting right now. So We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to watch the sparring in the social media universe between the senator and the governor.
Well, it's not just that. You can look on Twitter, and Doge is telling you every day exactly what they're doing, where they're finding waste, fraud, and abuse, and where they're cutting it. And they've got the numbers. I mean, they're putting up the receipts. And you can really find that with our state legislators as well. All that stuff it's online.
Yeah, that's right. It truly is. And, Senator Joel Carter went to the floor yesterday and offered some words to the members in the Senate, just really imploring all of our elected leaders to just be more respectful, essentially. He did a pretty good job, I thought, standing up and just highlighting what's going on there. There's disagreement. I think there always is going to be, but we could handle that in a respectful and courteous manner. And he sounded like he stood up for his colleague there, Jeremy England, in the Senate in that those remarks. Little speech on the floor.
I'm sure they'll work it out. And even England said, look, Reeves and I are friends. It's not a big deal. These things happen. Tensions run high. And that's because they care. I think if our legislators didn't care, it would never get that heated.
Yeah, I think that's right. There is there are passions on both sides, and sometimes that when there's a disagreement, it can devolve into the mudslinging a bit. That's just part of the political realm.
Another big thing. Can I give everybody a heads up on the fact that, because everybody I know has a cold right now, and most people are blaming allergies. Several Mississippi schools were forced to close in recent weeks due to large outbreaks of flu and other illnesses. So we found out this week flu cases have actually surged to their highest level in over a year in Mississippi. And according to Therese Crawley with Fox News, the flu is actually hitting the entire U.S. hard this year.
It's the most intense flu activity in 15 years, measured by visits to the doctor's office for flu-like symptoms. CDC reports 43 states reporting high or very high flu activity last week. Some 24 million flu cases this season, and it's not to be toyed with. Over 300,000 hospitalizations, 13,000 deaths. Flu season traditionally peaks in February, and this season, don't be surprised if it lasts a week. It's mostly flu A with less RSV. Flu B was largely eliminated in 2020, squeezed out by COVID. 44% of adults got the flu shot this winter, but a big drop in kids' shots. This year's flu shot is considered a good flu A match.
So go to the doctor. It's probably not allergies. It's probably flu.
Yeah, it is widespread, no doubt about it. What else you got going on?
Well, we could talk about the Tim Tebow Act, which will be pretty exciting for a lot of parents across Mississippi. Homeschooled kids could be eligible to play public sports and join in other extracurricular activities like band. We've got House Bill 1617, which is referred to as the Tim Tebow Act. It aims to provide homeschooled students access to these extracurricular activities. That's not just band and it's not just sports. There are a lot of other activities like, the chess club. Do we still have the audio-visual club in schools? Maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time since I went to high school. But anyway, according to Representative Jansen Owen, they did address concerns, which were the number one concerns they were hearing about academic standards.
Well, the biggest drawback that I have heard was the academic issues, the unfairness of holding the public school students to those academic standards that our student athletes are held to, and not being able to hold the homeschoolers to similar academic standards.
Now, I got pretty excited, found out that we had another big lottery winner. I do buy tickets, so it would be nice if this was me every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened
Big
for
time
me.
winner.
But anyway. Yeah, just a couple of days. Just a couple of days after the largest Powerball jackpot hit in Mississippi, another lucky player has amassed millions in winnings. Wednesday, a Powerball ticket purchased in Mendenhall won a lucky unidentified Mississippian $2 million. This comes on the heels of an anonymous pedal player striking gold, earning $10 million after matching all 5 double play white balls plus the double play Powerball during Monday night's Powerball drawing. Now, the ticket purchased in Wednesday night's drawing matched all 5 white ball numbers, securing the $1 million win. And here's how they doubled it, because they added the dollar power play option. The multiplier for the drawing was 2, so the prize doubled to $2 million. For $1, doubled his prize.
That's pretty good. That's pretty strong. So maybe one day we'll get somebody to win the big old multi-state prize. How cool would that be?
Can it be me?
I'd love to see that.
I know I'm being really selfish today, right?
Oh,
I also
man.
wanted to mention this, Gerard, because I thought it was really beautiful. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith honoring the life of Paul Gallo on the floor of the U.S. Senate Thursday morning. Of course, our friend Paul Gallo passed away at the age of 77 in January, leaving behind a legacy of more than 50 years on the air as one of the most influential talk radio hosts in state history. And, all of us here at the SuperTalk family are really going to miss him. But here's what Hyde-Smith had to say.
My state mourns Paul. Paul was far more than just a broadcaster. If there's anyone who can be considered a Mississippi icon, it's him. He earned that status over decades as a steady voice for news and opinion in my state. Paul was the son of the Mississippi Delta, was a true believer in Mississippi. He recognized its potential and its strengths, but he wasn't afraid to address its challenges head on. He shaped the conversations that mattered to the people of Mississippi, no matter where they lived across the state.
Yeah, it's awesome. So good. So appropriate that he was recognized. So it was so appropriate that he was he was recognized and lauded there on the floor of the United States Senate, man. No doubt about it. I know he and Senator Hyde-Smith had a good working relationship. She always enjoyed being on her show. They always had great interviews. He will certainly be missed. An icon for sure. Mm-hmm. Appreciate it, Kelly. Thanks.
Thanks, y'all. Have a great weekend.
You too. Coming right back in the Element Wealth studio.